Hello, everyone, and welcome to Empowerment TV. I am your host, Dr. Janelle Jones. I'm super excited that you're joining us for our very first episode. So, listen, I have the honor of being with Miss Destiny Randle, and we're going to talk about beauty within purpose. Before we get started, I want to tell you why I decided to start Empowerment TV. I truly just wanted to help women around the world sharing stories from real women with real stories. So today we're going to dive right in and get into know Destiny Randall. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Destiny. She's a hairstylist and she loves helping people take care of their hair and understanding the beauty within. So Destiny is also my baby girl. So this is why she is on my first show because I wanted to give her the platform to share her story and to let you know that you can start at any age at any time. So for you, Destiny, tell me what made you get into being a hairstylist.
Well, first, I think it was rooted in me. I always wanted to do. I didn't always want to do hair, but I always knew how to do hair, and I always liked hair. So I originally wanted to be a nurse, and I went to the career center for nursing. I went to college for nursing. I worked in two nursing homes, but I really wasn't like it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't that fulfilling, and I learned that it just wasn't really what I wanted to do. I would be doing the patient's hair while I would be at work and little stuff like that. I just began to see like, okay, I actually have a passion for hair, so let me see what that's about.
Hmm. So with you, it was like you spent some time over here. That's like 3 years of your time nursing, right? You're 2 years of high school and you're a year in college. And then you figured out that that was not it. So you decided to dive into doing hair.
Hmm.
How are you able to distinguish between, okay, here's something that I could do? Because a lot of people start doing things that they're good at,
Hmm.
but they're not necessarily passionate about. So tell me about how you were able to distinguish the two between doing something that I could do because I could love to help people
Hmm.
versus doing something that I'm very passionate about.
Cosmetology or hair at the time overtook nursing.
Hmm.
So it's like I was doing it on the side, but it became like more fulfilling. And I wanted to do this and I want to wake up doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up quitting the nursing homes because I wasn't in school. Right. I quit the nursing homes and then I went to cosmetology school and I started working in the salon. So that's really how I just did it.
Hmm. So from you, so my listeners out there who are like still trying to figure out their passions, I don't care where you are and what age of life yet you're at. I'm trying things, right? I'm
Hmm.
trying different things to try to figure out is this it?
Hmm.
Trying different things is not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Hmm.
Because a lot of people think you have to know, but I'm trying different things to feel or to see which one is fulfilling to me, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes, but also like seeking God for me personally is like was the most important thing because when I did that, it was like this door opened up for like opportunity as far as hair goes, and it was like, okay, maybe this is the right thing to do. And I was just praying about my purpose, my passion, my calling, and all of it was kind of revealed to me at the same time. So that's really find what you believe in and stick with it and stay grounded in that. And that's how I really feel like you'll go with the flow and you'll figure out what you want to do. It's not all about knowing because you never know. I could change tomorrow and you just never know.
Mm. So getting that guidance. So let me deepen my relationship with God, hearing from God, and then the door opened from you for
Hmm.
you, and you kept moving in that
Hmm.
direction. So like you have several things going on. So you have your hairline, you have your oils. Did you know that you were going to do all that when you started your cosmetology work or your job?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Talk to me about that because a lot of people think, okay, I need to know it all, like, or they don't move. So talk to me like, okay, I took this leap,
Hmm.
the door opened, and then as you begin to walk, what happened?
Opportunities present themselves, and then like for me personally, the reason I like outsource or like branch out into other things is because my clients need this.
Mm.
So rather than us outsourcing or I'm sending you here, you're not liking it there, I'm gonna go find the best quality or make the best quality for you and for your hair. That way, everything's in house and you don't have to worry about a bad experience.
So I listen. Let me take a break. I don't think y'all hearing this. Okay, yeah, probably is, but you listen. So one of the things she is saying to everybody out there is she took steps, like she took faith walks. So here's the opportunity. Here's what I believe God is telling me to do. Let me take action,
Hmm.
right? I took action, then I started to get more ideas, more creative ideas because I saw a gap, right? My clients were complaining about the type of hair they were getting. So I filled that gap. My clients were complaining about oils that they needed, natural oils they needed. So I filled a gap. She also has a mist, a hair braiding mist that stop itching. You see people patting their heads and all that stuff. So I created this because I saw these needs and I began to create product around them. So I just want to encourage you. So I have something that I believe God told me to do. But not only was it this one thing, he created multiple streams of income. So beauty within the purpose is a great way to find your purpose. It's beauty in it. Sometimes we kind of like give up and we don't want to keep going because we think we have to know the big picture. But as you can see, when you start taking steps, it creates more action. So great opportunity. So with all that, I know you didn't just come out and was like, yep, I'm gonna have a straight shot. I know you have some distractions. So tell us how you were able to kind of like maneuver through these distractions to help you stay focused.
I think the best way for me to not avoid distractions, but like we should navigate through them, is to pray and really like have faith and trust God that no matter what I'm going through, I want to get through and there's going to be success or whatever there is on the other side. Like I'm not just going to fail. As long as I keep going, as long as I keep pushing towards an end goal, there's going to be an end goal.
Mm. Okay, y'all hear that? So as long as I keep moving, I'll eventually get to where I want to be, right? And with that comes what? So I'm not avoiding the distractions. I'm sure you have distractions.
Everything's going to come.
They're going to come. But then what keeps you going?
Knowing that I'm going to be great.
Knowing that
I want to help somebody. Okay. Knowing that I have to help somebody.
Mm-hmm. So your purpose, knowing that you're called to do something else, keeps you going, is what you're saying to me. Okay. So with you, when it comes to like the beauty within, I know that you work with your clients in a way that's unique to you. Talk to us about how you customize your experiences with clients.
I feel like I customize it by the way they feel. Like everybody's different, so some people they come to the salon and they just want to sit and they just want to get their hair done. They don't want to talk. They don't want to do anything. Some people I'm their therapist and I love that. Other people like I've gained like true friends from doing hair. So it's a lot of things. I just have to like figure out what this my client today in my chair, what she's going through, what she or he or she needs today. What do they need from me? You know what I'm saying? And just providing them the best service I can.
Well, I like the idea that you're able to. I'm sure that you're like an empath. Well, because you're my daughter, I know you're an empath. But being an empath kind of helps you also be in tune with your clients' needs and what they want. Do your clients appreciate that?
I hope so.
Having that experience with you.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you navigate through your self journey, why do you think it's so important to find out who you are?
I feel like if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're doing in your life. So I feel like it's important to get to know yourself. And it sounds like such a cliche, like just when you say get to know yourself, da, 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 da. But it's actually important because we don't really sit in ourselves a lot. Like I feel like we just live this life and we just go so much that we don't sit down and reevaluate who am I? Like, just honestly, especially like as you're growing into your becoming an adult, it can be a challenge at times. So I feel like it's very important to learn yourself so you can be your best self rather than being what everybody else wants you to be or think you should be.
Do you think that your knowing who you are is connected to getting to your purpose? So if I know me, am I able to know my purpose too? Do you think the two intertwine? Do you think that it doesn't matter?
I feel like it definitely matters. I feel like everything connects. And I feel like it's important to identify who you are so that you can identify your purpose and how they align. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's important to know. How do me and my purpose go together? So yeah.
Because you have people who are like athletes. Like you'll have an athlete who, being an athlete is their platform, right? This is how they're showing up to the world. Their purpose can be, a part of that, right? But if they don't know who they are they really truly showing up as their selves, right?
Their best self.
Their best self. That's a good point. So how do I be my best self if I don't know myself?
Mhm.
That's a question that you
It's
have to
possible.
ask, right? It's
Mhm.
impossible, she said, because if I don't know me, like if I can't identify, like Desi's my daughter, and if I don't know her, if we're in a crowd and I never met her, I mean, let's say she was snatched at birth and I never met her, then I'm not gonna be able to identify her in a crowd because I don't know who she is. But because I've known her, nurtured her, spent time with her, got to know her character, develop her character, I'm able to identify who she is, right? I mean, I know that's kind of like lineage, but if I am becoming familiar, and she had a good point. We are not spending enough alone time with ourselves. I mean, I know people who are 50. She's younger than we are some of us, right? And she is telling us why it's important. I know people who are 50, 60 years old who still don't know who they are, and they're operating in very, very immature emotional behaviors, right? So this is important to really get to know who you are and stand firm in that.
Mhm.
For you, do you think the journey to finding yourself is easy?
No.
Talk to us about it.
I mean, I don't, I think you're gonna face challenges, especially like when you really ask God to reveal something for for you about yourself that you can't even identify yourself.
Ooh.
Um, so you like, okay, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Like, so you really have to. I feel like it's so important to deal with it. Like, it's so easy to run away from your problems, but you can never heal from your problems if you don't deal with them. So, whatever He gives me that I feel like I need to work, He feels like I need to work on. We're gonna work on this. Like, we're gonna figure this out, and we're gonna go from there because, yeah,
Because that's a deep one. Have y'all ever asked God to be like, all right, God, I need you to show me my heart, and God showed you your heart. You was like, who you talking to, God? Because that
that
ain't
ain't
me.
me, and it is.
And it ain't me. Listen, I'm like, okay. Recently, God was like, girl, you need to work on your communication. I'm like, God, I'm a therapist. I know how to talk to people. I went to two different restaurants that messed up my order, and I didn't say anything. And I was like, and that's not normally me. Normally, I say stuff then, and I was like, you're right, God. I need to work on my communication. So it's a great point. Like, really, to get to that level of maturity in your best self, as Destiny mentioned, you have to examine yourself. We don't get anywhere with blaming people. What Mama and them did 25 years
No
ago,
matter no more.
no matter no more. So it's really important to get to our best self. So, what would you recommend people do to cultivate their best selves? Like, how was you able to cultivate the best version of Destiny, or still cultivating?
Still cultivating. I feel like I'm always growing, always learning. Um, you. So if you don't know my mom's very empowering and she's very do what makes you happy, affirmations, and she's very positive. She's a very positive person. So really following in your footsteps, honestly, and finding other people like you, kind of like male and female, that really talk about the same things, because sometimes other people's delivery can be delivered better.
Mm.
So,
I heard that.
so just really like trying, like
Mhm.
trying to be my best self every day. Like every day, I want to show up and try to be the best Destiny I can be. Like I want to grow every single day. So
Mhm.
that's probably the best thing I can say about that.
So let's go back, y'all. Her parent helped her. And let me be honest with you, I didn't always know myself. I think I hit a point in my life that I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like I was 36 and trying to decide who I was, and I think she probably was like 13 at the time. And I always been positive. I'm bubbly and things like that. So I had a positive personality, but so when you alone and you had them self talks or them negative self talks that no one see, and you start to question yourself. When I was like 36, I decided I need to do something different. So, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, but I just want to give you the example of how it's important for parents to know themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You got parents out here that's 60, 50, 40, and they don't know who they are. And they are 30. I had children when I was very young. I had no clue who I was. And you're stuck in this cycle. But at some point, if you continue to that, you're teaching your children that it's not important for them to be themselves. And when I became free with being myself and knowing myself, it freed her to do the same thing. Correct? Okay. So I need y'all to take that, write it down, and keep it going. Because seriously, the best thing you could do for yourself is be the best self. Why is inside beauty more important than outer beauty? And how does it impact others? So if I'm ugly within, how does that impact everybody around me?
They don't want to be around you.
They don't?
I mean, I wouldn't want to be around you, but I think it's important to be pure and kind. Like, I think it's very important to be, what is the word I'm looking for? Authentic and just kind to people because one, like, you don't know what people are going through. So I feel like it's easy to smile at somebody or wave at somebody. You know, like you can make somebody's day. I feel like you don't have to be a butthead.
There's so many beautiful people that we know. And they like, oh, on the outer show, they bomb diggity. And then when we get to know them, they
They're
become
horrible.
ugly. And it's right, they become ugly. So why is it important for you in the role that you're in to help people, not only as you're beautifying people, like people literally sit in your chair
Mm-hmm.
for you to transform their lives, right? You should have seen my hair before I got it done,
It was
right?
beautiful.
It listen, y'all, I look like Pippi Longstocking, but thank God for Destiny. But seriously, you're going to people sitting in your chair to actually, transforming them. And it's only so much you can do with the look.
Yeah, yeah, but also like within a person too. Like I can't change a person's heart. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I can say something. I can give you my opinion. We can have a conversation, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna be my opinion or how I feel and how you receive it. You know, so how you receive it is really not on me. But as long as I can say I gave you this, I think
Mm-hmm.
like I'm okay.
Say you're okay. In those moments, do you find it difficult to let it go? So if you see a loved one or someone who is like struggling with something,
Hmm.
you're saying something, you're giving them advice, and you're trying to help them navigate, right? And granted, people are going to make their own decisions and do what they want to do, but how do you let that go?
Give it to God
Okay.
because carrying other people's weight is a lot when I have to
Mm-hmm.
carry my own. You know what I'm
Y'all hear
saying?
that? Carrying other people's weight is a lot when I have to carry my own. Why do you think it's important to be authentic?
I think it's important to be authentic so you can be the best version of you. That's just what I think. Like, I don't want to show up as somebody else. Like, I feel like the internet, it is an easy way out for you to show up as somebody else. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So,
Well, talk to me about that. So that, like, I grew up in a world where we didn't have a lot of social media. Even people my age get addicted to it, but it wasn't like a thing for us.
mhm.
How is that playing a role into people's authenticity? Like, how is it navigating or taken away from being authentic?
Just in my opinion, I don't know for what it is for everybody, but I just believe from what I see in certain people's lives that I do know is like you see this life somebody was living on Instagram and you just want to live their life so bad and you act like you do. But for me, you don't have to put on a facade for anybody for social media. Like if that's what you feel like you need to do, you need to get off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very easy for people to try to live this life for other people to see just because of social media. And sometimes, like I've heard people say, like social media makes you feel like you're not enough because of what you see on there, and it's like that should never be the case. Like you are enough. Everything you have is more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And I think that's deep because it's so many people in the world. If you really like unscale, like if you have the onion, you really begin to peel back layers. So many people feel like they're not enough.
Hmm.
So then I'm on social media and I have to be or I'm looking at the picture perfect person, and then now I feel like I'm even less than. And that's something we have to fix. But I never tied it to authenticity because authenticity is refreshing. So if someone is being honest or real or themselves, is refreshing, and it's like, why do we go for the stuff that's not authentic?
Hmm.
You know, do you feel like it's important to like really identify you when you're looking at social media, comparing yourself to other people? How do we get to escape from comparing ourselves to this facade? Everybody on social media are not fake, right? We know that there's real people out there. But if I am in a position where everything is gotta look this way, gotta be perfect, how do I escape that to find my true authenticity?
You have to want to do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just a self thing for like even with like we have influencers on Instagram and it's like I seen that TikTok was like everything doesn't have to be perfect. Like every time somebody makes a video as far as influencing goes, everything's perfect. And that's not real life. Like it's just
Mhm.
it's really not. So it's like be you no matter what. Like who cares what the next person says? I feel like that really goes into a lot of it. People care too much about what people think today, period. Like I don't care that you see my shirt on my bed. Like it's my bed, it's my shirt. I don't care. So it's just about just showing up who you are and not caring about somebody not liking what you're doing. Like, I don't need you to like me. I really don't. So I don't care. But I feel like it's hard for many people to have people not like them or disagree with them or all these other things. I don't care.
She does not care, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you how much she says that. She probably says it all the time, but we have to get that attitude of, I don't care. Even if you're 60 years old, you're watching this and you're like, oh man, I still think somebody think this about me. Um, just I don't have that care attitude. And for her to be young, I know like
I used to care.
I used to
I used
care.
to really care.
Hmm.
But I think it was really, I'd be really saying, everything really is God. But I just have to say, I keep saying God. Um, Once you really walk with him for me and you really like show up, this is who I am. So you gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. If you don't like it, leave. If you like it, great for you.
Mm. Y'all write that down. Now, I am very impressed with you being as young as you are, to be able to say, I'm walking with God, I'm doing my purpose. Yes, it's not perfect, but that fact that you're confidently here sharing your authentic self means a lot. And I am just glad to be your mom and glad to have you as a daughter because it means a lot. I know we've been through a lot. I know that it hasn't been easy, but to see how you are today means absolute the world to me because I'm so honored. You're sweet and sometimes sour, very caring, very loving, and you don't
Okay.
take. She don't like to touch. You don't take no stuff, and that's very honorable. Like I love that you have a relationship with God, being in your early 20s, and you're like walking with Him and developing you and showing up as your best self. So we need you. The people need you in the world, and this is what it's all about. When we're showing up as our best self, we're servicing everybody around you
Hmm.
or us. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank Destiny and thank you for tuning into the very first episode. Destiny, tell us where we can find you. Where are you at on social media and what's your website?
My Instagram is Tresses with Des. It's TRESSES with Des. And then YouTube is the same, tresseswithdes.com, and then trespath.com.
So if you need your hair done or if you need some beautiful, luxurious hair, oils,
Textured hair.
texture hair, please make sure you follow Destiny, order from Destiny, do your thing, but really listen to her stories, listen to her life. She's motivating, she's fascinating, and she also has a heart of gold. And I hope that this message has helped you today with beauty within your purpose. Make sure you click the button below and subscribe. And we are here for it. We got so many stories to share. So remember to remain in your true authenticity, your purpose, and your power. Talk to you soon.